Namaste, everybody. I am so happy that everyone's here and we have a good quorum today. We're hosting this after a little bit of a gap. We had a big conference, we hosted around the 9/11, which was the Global Hindu Conference. And today is a pretty exciting topic, actually, because it's not just an educational topic, but something that is very important from a practical perspective. It's about Dharmaansh, and it's not just at a concept level, but Dr. Omendra Ratnu, along with some of the leaders in our community, Hindu community, have been working on this idea of the Dharmaansh Foundation. So he will, of course, come and talk about it in a little more detail. And we've had many of the people that already are part of it and are helping support it and are part of the board and all of that. So I will let Dr. Omendra Ratnu, when he comes in, talk about that. But I think from a historical point of view, it is an important point just to visit some of the things that that changed our society. I mean, Indian civilization or the Hindu civilization is the oldest living civilization in the world. It is pretty much the only civilization that has survived the onslaught of colonization. And that was the topic of our conference, the red, white, and green. So basically the three forces, whether it was Islamic invasions around the world, after the Common Era started, Christianity also went into an expansionist mode. And if you see the world, when Marxism dawned, it also impacted some of the expansionism. So if you see around the world, if you look at the map of the world, what you see is pretty much every part of the world is covered with the red, white, and green, whether communist forces, Islamic states, or the Christendoms. So India remains the only country, major country, and of course there's Israel, which is a tiny dot in the Middle East, but that have some of the ancient civilizational aspects to them, and it is very important to preserve them. So Omiji, thank you for coming and welcome. I will just finish the introductions and hand over the floor to you. But I do want to go to the point of when the British colonized the world. When the British were colonizing the world, and if you know how the Native Americans were genocided, whether it was the Trail of Tears or various other ways that there was a genocide. In India, after the 1857 War of Independence, the British tried to do very similar things. The food was exported out of India, food grains, and the farmers were forced to focus on cash crops like indigo, like cotton, like tobacco and tea, and they're not allowed to grow food grains on their farmland. So all of that put together, not only that, and the food, when it was sent out, there were 24 famines that were literally engineered by the British during about 30 to 40 years after the 1857 War of Independence. There was a major reduction in the population. But one of the things that the British were always worried about was the fact that people still kept helping each other in India. So one of the very important legal clauses they put, or acts that they implemented in India, was a Charitable Endowment Act, under which, of course, they took the temples from India, from the hands of the Hindus. So all of the funds came to them. And also they made it criminal to help or give charity to the poor. Now, that is something most of us don't know. I learned about it recently. And so there were various ways that they socially engineered the country and our populations. Of course, they played divide and rule. But this was a very big change in the way the Hindu civilization, which has always been, cohesive, which was always helping each other out, they stopped giving alms, giving donations, and whatever money was given to the temples was taken away by the British. And still our temples are not free. But one of the things that Dr. Omendra Ratnu and his friends are doing are setting up the Dharmaansh Foundation. And Omiji, welcome. I will just give you a brief introduction. Omiji knows he's known to everybody. He doesn't need much introduction, but he works on his project of Nimitekam, which is actually helping the Pakistani Hindu and Sikh refugees who come to India. So that is one of the projects that he works on, that he has his own NGO that works on it. And the other thing that he's doing at this time is writing a book about the 1,000-year war that the Mewar Maharanas fought against Islamic invasions. Because of it, the Hindu civilization has survived. And also, the Dharmaansh Foundation is a big initiative that Omiji is a part of. So I will, without further ado, hand over to Dr. Omendra Ratnu. Welcome, Omiji. And I'm hoping you are able to unmute yourself. So,
Jai Shri Ram, thank you very much, Richa, for these kind words. This call is, at the cost of sounding melodramatic, I would say Dharmaansh Foundation India, which I will be abbreviating as DFI, so that people understand about what DFI is. Is the only lifeline left for us Hindus, according to my and my think tank's understanding. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll try to outline what I mean when I say that it's the only lifeline left to us. Why? If Dharmaansh Foundation fails, I don't know what's lying in store for us. But if it succeeds, we'll be free of these three mafias: the mullahs, the missionaries, and the Marxists. So are most of the friends who are supposed to attend here, so should I start speaking about the whole thing? Or like we need to do some...
Omiji, we have a quorum. We really have quite a lot of people. It's live streaming, so there are people watching on the live stream.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, please go ahead.
Am I visible? There's adequate light?
Yes, you're visible, you're audible. And I've already introduced a little bit about Dharmaansh Foundation. And I know that Neeraj Afriji is also joining us, right?
He's supposed to, he's not picking up my call, so maybe it was too early for him, I don't know.
Okay.
He should be here. I left a text for him. Neeraj should join. I had a long conversation. He's on the board of directors of not on the board of directors, he's an advisory board of Dharmaansh Foundation. So everybody who will visit the website once it is constructed will see Neeraj Atri, Tufail Chaturvedi, Pushpendra Pulshresht, Dr. Parikshit Singh, maybe even Madhu Kishwar. We're trying to reach Sanjay Dikshit sir. We're trying to reach people who are these Hindu opinion makers. Okay. So, should I start?
Yes, please do.
सुबह वाले आंखों में पानी आता है ठंडे हवा लगने से. So, there are two parts of my talk today. 10 minutes, I'll tell you the threat, which most of you know, but I'll just, briefly to contextualize the whole thing. To me, the real threat is not what Abrahamics are doing. They have been doing this for the past 1400 years. The real threat is our leadership has capitulated. And this is some inside information. And this is something which all of you are reading in your newspapers, the kind of comments coming from our top leadership are abhorrent and scary. And I would love to be corrected if anybody thinks otherwise. The second part of my talk will be, what are our options? What do we do? What is Dharmaansh Foundation proposing? How critical it is that we have this Dharmaansh Foundation running. And then we'll have some question and answer session. So we'd like to wind this up in 1 hour or 1 hour and quarter. So I'll start with an analogy in the animal kingdom. I would request every friend to go to the YouTube and look to the stoat dance, S-T-O-A-T, stoat dance. This is a rodent which is about 1/10 the size of a rabbit, and it charms the rabbit by a dance. And it's a weird dance. It's stupid dance. You know, it looks very stupid doing that dance. But the rabbit is spellbound. You know, he stops and looks at him. Okay, somebody's doing something. And when rabbit is lost in that stupid dance of the stoat, he catches him by the trachea and the throat and kills him. And then takes it down the hole to feed his family for the next 10, 15 days. Islam and Christianity are doing the stoat dance in front of Hinduism. We are being charmed by Sufi Qawwalis and Shero-Shairis and Bollywood. And 3 days, 4 days ago, 5 Hindus have been murdered in Kashmir, and the stoat dance is on. The daughter of the murdered guy, I mean, with all due respect, because grief is something very personal. The lady has lost her father. I mean, I'm not trying to blame her. I'd rather not even talk about it. But she talks that there are no Hindu Muslim. It's all. अरे भाई तो क्यों मारा था आपके बाप को? हमें भी समझा दो. हम औसत बुद्धि के लोगों को समझा दो कि अगर आपके बाप को हिंदू होने के लिए नहीं मारा गया तो क्यों मारा गया था? That's one thing. The stoat dance has begun with a Muslim gentleman crying at the funeral of the Sikh principal. You know, these are the videos being circulated, and that stoat dance begins when एक व्यक्ति की हत्या करने का मतलब कुरान में लिखा हुआ है कि पूरी इंसानियत की आपने हत्या कर दी. उसकी अगली आयत में क्या लिखा है ये कोई नहीं बताता आपको. तो stoat dance से हम क्यों charm होते हैं? Why are Hindus being charmed by the stoat dance? Because this was something Shri Krishna noted 5,000 years ago. Why did he speak the Gita? The Gita was spoken because the tendency of inertia in every human being is very deep. It is innate to human nature to be a status quoist. We want to keep things as they are. Nobody wants to do that extra labor. And if you recognize that the Abrahamic faiths, along with the Marxist facilitators, are out to destroy Hinduism, then you will have to do something about it. आपको कुछ करना पड़ेगा ना अपने परिवार को, अपनी संपत्ति को, अपने बिजनेस को, अपनी जान बचाने के लिए. You'll have to do something about it. Nobody wants to do that labor. Neither our leadership, the political leadership, the social leadership, the religious leadership. Tell me one sadhu, one dharmacharya, one mathadhisha talking about the truth of Abrahamic mafias which are out to destroy us. Why is it left to middle class Hindus like me and Richa and friends listening here, Dr. Shashi and all these people, to brainstorm and to turn our hair gray? Why can't we be making merry with going to foreign vacations and okay, I'll speak in English only. So why can't we invest in the stock markets and make our cars bigger and make our flats bigger and make our bank balances bigger? Who are supposed to protect us? I mean, Dharmacharyas and Mathadisha, this was an institution which was supposed to protect us over the millennia, right? So, yeah, but then if Saram Bapu is the example, then what is the Dharma Sansad about? And if a saint is, there are so many Hindus who have paid the price. So many Hindus who have gone to jail. I keep getting threats from the ISI, Pakistan, that why are we trying to help Pakistani Hindus? That doesn't mean we stop working. We have our own threats, right? So the point is, now you have a Christian chief minister in Punjab, right? His wife was shown that the Jesus portrait and all that. Right? Right? We have Hindus being killed with impunity. And it's not about these 5 Hindu deaths, murders in Kashmir. Richa knows, I have this data of about 200 Hindus of RSS, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Ram Sene, Hindu Munnani, having been murdered ever since Modi ji became the Prime Minister. In the last 7 years, 200 Hindus have been lynched by Muslim anarchists and terrorists. I have the FIR copy, the news links, the names of those murdered, and the name of the people who killed them. That is where we are heading, that we are a dying people. All around, the caste fault lines are being harnessed to harm us. Tell me, 90% of the refugees coming out of Pakistan and Bangladesh are Dalits. And who was resisting the CAA? Besides the Shaheen Bagh, besides the usual culprits, besides the usual suspects, it was the Sardars, it was Dhimmi Hindus, and it was the Dalit leadership, which was opposing the CAA. Isn't it criminal for Hindus and Sardars and Dalit Samaj to oppose the CAA? Why these victims of time have been forsaken and forgotten? What was our leadership doing in the US? 8 cities passed resolutions against the CAA. What are Hindus of the United States doing? And when we woke up, when Richard took it up, Sanjeev Tripathi, other guy, Sachin Tripathi, young boy, when they went to Chicago and they took the videos, we sent them the videos, we sent them the documents. Somebody's opened his mic. Please mute your mic. It's playing in my ear. So we were able to stop that resolution in Chicago because the lady who was chairing the session, she said that there is no premise of this. This resolution. So if we start to get our act together, we can fight them. We can make a difference. And now that I have, does anybody disagree with whatever I have given up till now? That this is what at stake. We have the Abrahamics, the Macaulay Putras, whom we call as the Panch Makkars, the Mullah, the Marxists, the missionary, the media, and Macaulay Putras, the Hindus who have been anglicized into believing that Hinduism is a liability. They think that being atheist or being woke is the in thing. All these idol worshipping and milk serving and cow worshipping, these are all things of medieval era. Those Hindus, these 5 M's, Panch Makkars, have besieged us properly. And if things continue like this, then I'm afraid the future is very bleak. Our own people are turning against us. Does everybody till now agree with me that the situation is that dire, right?
Yes, agreed.
Because, yeah. And it's that bad, because our leadership comes up with these weird statements that Britishers were responsible for the Hindu-Muslim conflict in this subcontinent. I don't think there can be a more dangerous, more ignorant, and a more suicidal statement than this. You are absolving Akbar, Babur, Shah Jahan, so-called Shah Jahan, the Tughlaqs, the Khiljis, Muhammad Ghori, Mahmud of Ghazni, Muhammad bin Qasim. Yes. Yeah.
Umiji,
Yes,
forget about going back to Lodis, Tughlaqs, Khiljis. We forget even the Jinnah and Sohrawardi, who gave direct action day call so that he can flush out
I completely agree with you. Yes.
Hindus from the Kolkata, so that he
Yes.
can make it as he can amalgamate in the Bengal. Means
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you that we don't
So-
even need to go into history. As recently as 70 years ago, it was the Islamic jihadis who butchered us. As recently as 50 years ago, in 71, the Islamic Army of Pakistan butchered 3 million Hindus in Bangladesh, which no Hindu leadership even talks about. We are such orphans. Hindu Samaj is such an orphan that none of the Hindu leader ever talks about the Bangladeshi Hindu genocide. It was a senator of America, Ted Kennedy, who wrote volumes on this. Ki, bhai, I've seen this with my own eyes. Somebody do something about this. So this also adequately demonstrates how pathetic is this statement that Britishers were responsible for the Hindu-Muslim conflict. See, what it does is, why I'm so viciously against this statement. It takes away our focus from the real enemy. Who is the real enemy here? The enemy is the Abrahamic faiths, which are political ideologies who say that we will convert you or kill you because we have a sanction in our theology. And our leadership is saying, no, all is hunky-dory. We will coexist. Arey yaar, kam se kam, at least say that we will fight them.
We haven't understood the Abrahamic religions. That is the problem with it, right? I mean, I think
so that means
of us understand the core philosophy, what we call as Purva Paksha, we haven't learned it, and we haven't. This is Ron. I'm in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, so
sorry if I've
you should have a video then.
Yeah, I should really. But I've been on this for quite some time. But the problem is, I think in the Hindu system, we have this belief systems and we have this forgive and forget system. So we wrongly forgive and forget. In other words, these things cannot be forgiven or forgotten. Maybe it could be forgiven after some time. It cannot be forgotten. But what we have is we haven't learned from this mistake. For instance, in Hyderabad, they had this Razaka problems, right, where the Muslims actually butchered Hindus because Hindus want to join with India, and the Nizam's army was trying to keep it independent or join Pakistan. Okay, but what happened after that? We should have had a Nuremberg-like trial of all the Razakars. If we had that on camera in 1947-48, and we give them due process, but then we charge them with the crime. Anybody who has committed murder, and most of them will get hanged for that. There were over 100,000 plus soldiers who were let go completely. In fact,
Thank you for your comments, Ron. I think Dr. Omendra Ratnu is going to give us a few minutes of talk, and then we will go into Q&A and comments. So
yeah, that would be the better format. Yeah.
Right, because I think it'll be better you tell us about the Dharmaansh Foundation too. So
yes. The thing gets interrupted. So
please go ahead.
So I think all of us are in agreement that situation is very dire. Not only because we are being attacked by the Panchmakkars, but that our own leadership, for reasons unknown, has capitulated. Complete capitulation of our own leadership. So to pick up, what is the true strength of Abrahamics? If my think tank can be sat down to study them, how things operate, how such lies are propagated, how can somebody keep an entire population charmed by a 2,000-year-old narrative? Somebody died for you, somebody came to free you of your sins. Guys, please, you have to mute your phone, your mics. Somebody has opened his mic. I can't see who. So if we look at the way things operate, and it is, I must give credit to these Abrahamic people that they have hidden this all those years, and now we are trying to we are only uncovering the truth. So the real strength of Islamic people is the monthly collection of funds, which they call as zakat. In Islam, zakat is as important, if not more, than namaz and hajj and umrah and all the four kind of, जैसे हमारे यहाँ पर धर्म, अर्थ, काम and moksha are the four purusharthas. Islam has namaz, zakat, hajj and umrah. Now, we sat down to calculate, and the amount we calculated was that in India alone, the amount of zakat collected is close to 20,000 crores. I can do the mathematics right now in front of you and give you how we arrived at the number, or you can contact me individually how we arrived at this number. 20,000 crores every year is the money collected to destroy Sanatan Dharma. Now, please understand the gravity and please understand the implication of what I'm saying.
Is it 20,000 crore or is it more than that? Isn't it in lakhs?
It's a very conservative estimate. It's a very conservative estimate, but 20,000 crores is there, okay? Let's not go into the numbers. Just take me on the face value. I will give you the numbers. I'll give you the numbers separately. Let's not go there because 10 minutes will be lost in that. So if one of our leaders sitting in Bengal or sitting in Delhi or sitting in UP, the Yadav clan, they get 500 crore rupees a month, an year. Whom will they talk about? Hinduism? Will they ever talk about Hinduism? For 500 crore rupees, they will sell their mothers. What do you talk of religion? What to talk of faith? What to talk of philosophies? What to talk of ecosystems? Abrahamic faiths are masters at purchasing loyalties. See, I have written this history of Mewar Maharanas and I'm publishing a book on Deepavali. And I was baffled by the amount of treachery the Islamic invaders did with Hindus. There is always a number 2 or number 3 in the hierarchy, okay? He will always have some kind of grudge. There will always be more claimants for power, for the throne. They always tapped that grudge, funded him, and then made him fight the Mewar Maharanas. And that's the beauty of Mewar Maharanas, that they overcame even the inner treachery. Not only they overcame the Islamic invaders, but they overcame the inner treachery also, and they were merciless. As Pratap was merciless in dealing with treachery. So we got to learn from our great people who have taken our dharma out of the most difficult times, and still we are Hindus because of them. So when this is the amount of money being spent on your political leadership, just imagine 50 crore rupees a year to a television channel. Will they ever come to Dr. Omendra Ratnu and ask him what is the data of Hindus being murdered? Or they will only parrot about some akhlaq or some nizam or some Pehlu Khan being murdered. This is my grudge against the Hindu leadership, that we are not doing our Purva Paksha, we are not connecting dots, we are not using basic intelligence to understand how this works. Instead, we want Hindus to fight for Sanatan Dharma on a voluntary basis. Stop about Gita, yaar. Let's focus on Dharmaansh Foundation. Give Gita some rest. Listen to what I've come here. It's a very original and a very pious thing that I'm talking about. So please give me your attention. So if we have to find Hindus whom we can fund, who we can pay as a monthly salary, and start working for survival of Sanatan Dharma. As I was saying, if we depend on volunteers, we cannot fight a well-oiled, well-funded machinery of Abrahamic faiths. As they say in English, if you give peanuts, you will get monkeys. So if we really want Sanatan Dharma to survive this violent onslaught on our economy, on our numbers, on our demography, on our culture, on our civilization, on our values, on our festivals. We have to develop dedicated people who will constantly go on fighting. This cannot be done on an ad hoc basis. You cannot have a part-time worker like Omendra Ratnu. Half of the day I'm making my ends meet. I have to earn my bread. I have to give my installments. I have to pay for my equipments that I buy. At the age of 52, I have loans which I have to take care of. And I'm also fighting for Dharma. The stress itself is going to break me. I mean, I'm just giving you an example. I have Jay Ahuja, my brother, who's an entrepreneur. 10 days a month, he's sitting in Delhi fighting for the rights of Pakistani Hindu immigrants. His entire business has been destroyed because he just cannot stay in Jaipur. He was into property business, and it's a very sad state of affairs. We cannot keep sucking the blood of our own people without funding them. And don't tell me that Hindus don't have money. We Hindus have enough money. And I'm not even talking about asking one Hindu to part with his 10% wealth and give us and that kind of crores of rupees of donation. Here's the plan. I approached Swami Vijnananandaji of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and I explained the whole idea of Dharmaansh to him. We are replicating what the Abrahamics are already doing, so I got to give it to them. The idea came to me from the Abrahamic thought itself. So why can't we Hindus have our own Hindu zakat, which I call as Dharmaansh? And here is the mathematics. 100 crore Hindus on this globe, 99 crores will not listen to us. They will still indulge in movies. They will still indulge in cricket sattas. They will still think that their personal wealth is going to save them. They will still indulge in foreign vacations. They will still waste money in marriages, crores of rupees in marriages, and worthless this katha and that katha. But they will not fund the poor Hindus. I'm only talking about 1 crore Hindus. I'm sure 1 crore Hindus are like you and me, who understand that 10 years down the line, there will be nothing left to be saved. So if 10%, 1% Hindus understand this, that makes 1 crore Hindus globally. And if 1 crore Hindus give 100 rupees a month, we have 100 crore rupees a month fund for Dharmaansh Foundation. What will we do with it? We are already allied with Agniveer. And please don't make it personal. If somebody has a grudge with Agniveer, I don't care. I will give funding to these organizations only when the bona fides are confirmed, when actual work is being done on the ground. Nimit Tekam, the NGO that I'm running, we have taken out 10,000 Hindus. Everybody is most welcome to come and visit them in Jodhpur and Jaipur and Jaisalmer. The kind of work we are doing with Pakistani Hindus, the kind of work we are doing with the Valmiki, Regar, Khatik Samaj, the kind of work we are doing to fight the halal economy. Everybody is most welcome. As far as Nimit Tekam's accounts are concerned, we have posted the income and expenditure account on the website itself. All of you can go and check for yourself. The same is going to be done for Dharmaansh Foundation. Every penny that comes to Dharmaansh Foundation and every penny which goes out will be accounted for. And the CA team will put the 6 monthly or yearly account audit on the website itself, so that the fiscal integrity, the fiscal hygiene of DFI, Dharmaansh Foundation India, is not questioned. Nobody wastes time in questioning the fiscal working of DFI. So we have allied organizations like Agniveer, we have Hindu Seva Kendram of Kerala, Dr. Shashi Vishwanath, a brilliant man from Atlanta, is a physician. We have Auroveda in the US working with us. We have India Collective. We have Aarti Agarwal's Hindu genocide documentation. The poor lady is working absolutely alone. And the kind of threats she gets and the phenomenal work she has done. Last month only I talked to her and we promised her about 15,000 to 15 to 20,000 rupees per month, so that she can hire a person to document this work and to do the clerical work for what Aarti is doing. Aarti is a great brain. It's a great idea what she's doing. Once we have these documents, these data and the statistics with that, we go to the United Nations, we go to the UNHRC, And we try to save these 1 crore Hindus in Pakistan, 2 crore Hindus in Bangladesh, and lakhs of Hindus in Sri Lanka who are dying every day. And for that matter, Hindus are dying in Bharatvarsha also. With these allied organizations, we will have a Dharmaansh Foundation website, the core website, of which the directors are myself, Swami Vijnananandji, and Jay Ahuja. We have a board of advisors, which I already told you about, Sanjay Dikshit sir, Neeraj Attri, Tufail Chaturvedi ji. These are all very well-reputed names who have fought the Abrahamic onslaught for no personal gain. They've staked everything. Yesterday only, I was talking to Neeraj. The guy is running a project about documenting, I'm forgetting the history or something, and it's going to cost him so much money. And I told him, "Yaar, who's funding you?" He said, "Doctor Sahab, main to apna paisa khud hi lagata hu." And this is a young man, he will start having children. He will have to send them to college. I really don't know how this asymmetrical fight is going to continue for the next 5-10 years. I don't see this happening if we do not have a central collection of Hindu funds. I don't see this fight going anywhere because we don't see any. In India, we do not have bylaws. Let's Richa, I request you to gather all the questions somewhere, and then you go one by one. We can deal with them. I hope I've been able to convey the idea adequately to friends listening to me. That and then once you are convinced that Dharmaansh is the way forward, then each of you has to become the ambassador. You have to get 10 donors for Sanatan Dharma. The aim is to collect 100 crore rupees, and please don't come up with suggestions that let's form an industry, let's form a business model. That's not what I'm suggesting here. I am asking you to counter the Abrahamics on their turf, which is tithe and zakat. So we should have a Hindu Dharmaansh. Voluntary donation by Sanatanis all over the globe to protect and fight for Hindu Dharma. I'll end my talk with something that I've been sharing with my doctor friends. We have these Malayali nurses all around us, and entire North India is we have all these brilliant people, the great nurses. They are very good in their job, and they're very friendly. So day before yesterday, I was operating, and I was talking to this nursing staff, and I said, "Saab ka naam hai?" She said, "My name is whatever her name." So it's a Hindu name. I said, "And we are Nambudri Brahmins, but we converted to Christianity at the time of Saint Thomas." I said, "Very good. How much money do you give to the church?" And she said, 20% of her monthly income goes to the church. She was telling this to me on my face. And this is a woman who earns hardly 25,000 rupees a month. She's giving 5,000 rupees per month to the church. How on earth are we supposed to fight that money? Swati Goyal Sharma is a brilliant journalist with lakhs of followers on Twitter. She please go and visit her on Twitter, and she has just now quoted an incident where a Brahmin in the village was converted by the Muslims of the village by giving him something like 10 lakh rupees or 12 lakh rupees. We simply don't have the money. In Jaipur itself, we had 250 Sindhi families converting to Christianity because each of them was paid 15 lakh rupees. Now either Nimittekam goes and gives 16 lakh rupees to each of them. So kya hai, boli lagayenge? Now we should have an auction that how much is the cost for retaining these Hindus. So we need to have this collective central Hindu fund if we are supposed to fight them. We just cannot go on an ad hoc basis. The central thrust of Dharmaansh Foundation, the bottom line is rich Hindus, middle-class Hindus join hands to protect their poor Hindu brothers economically. And then once we do that, once we have fortified ourselves, for example, the teacher who has been killed, the Hindu teacher who has been killed in Kashmir. If Dharmaansh Foundation had the fund and we were active 5 months ago, I would have sent 51 lakh rupees or 21 lakhs rupees or whatever the Dharmaansh Foundation Advisory Board comes to a conclusion. We would send that 21 lakh rupees to the murdered Hindu. The way the community money acts. Yes, Brahma Bhai, this is the easiest thing to do. But now we have the platform. I'll ask Richa to share the Indian account. And eventually we will go for Dharmaansh Foundation, United States also. But that is a more complicated process. If you want to launch a 501c company, I request all my Hindu brothers listening to me here from the USA that please align with Richa, please align with Dr. Shashi, and we form a US Dharmaansh Foundation company, which will state in its objectives that our objective is to support Dharmaansh Foundation India, so that we are very clear in our objectives from day one, and we fight for such values, for the Sanatan Dharma values, which our brilliant ancestors have passed on to us. We are Hindus because of them. Let's pass on this beautiful Sanatan Dharma of Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita to our children also. We owe it to them. If DFI and FDFUS fail, I don't know. I've run out of options. For the last 10 years, I've been trying to do things for Pakistani Hindus and for Sanatan Dharma. And nothing gives me hope except Dharmaansh Foundation. I would be really glad if anybody can give me some more insights on this. But please be brief. Don't give your personal narratives. We all know where we are. Just focus on Dharmaansh, and all your questions and all your suggestions should be focused on Dharmaansh itself. Thank you very much for this patient hearing. If I've offended anybody, I apologize with folded hands.
Thank you, Miji.
Richa
One question. Omi bhai, while here.
1 second.
Richa has to
Everyone
moderate
wants
this.
to-
We can't go haphazard. Richa has to
Achha.
moderate this.
Yes, absolutely. And I will give time to people to talk. The thing is, if you can raise your hand, there's a raise hand button. That's the best way to, to communicate and to make sure that you get heard. And one of the things, Omiji, that I wanted to share when you talked about the nurse was that the Pew Research conducted a survey in India, and this was released this year, and they have said, they also asked the Christians, how many Christians are donating tithe? It's called tithe in their culture. And I think India has one of the highest success rates in the number of Christians who are donating. So they're almost forced to donate. So almost 100% of them donate money to the church, So that's how while they give 15 lakhs while converting, but they also take it back in installments over time. But
Yes,
with that said,
it's a well-oiled mafia.
It's a well-oiled mafia. And I know there's someone, I think, Omiji, you do know him. His name, the name isn't here, but it says Galaxy A5. If you want to take a couple minutes to just quickly ask your question, please do. And introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, thanks. Myself, Arvind Tiwari, and Omiji knows me for quite some time.
Yes, Arvind Bhai is a great Sanatani. Yeah.
Yeah. My one-folded request to every Hindu is on this planet that please come together. We are ditched by our present leadership and our Mathadishas, our science, all community. If we want to save this beautiful ancient civilization named, we are children of Bharat, the Agni, the knowledge. If we want to save this, please come together, and the only way forward is to take care of the people, those who are left behind by some way. They are our sahodras, our brothers and sisters, and the only way is to give money. Money means to help them and buy loyalty, as Omiji has said. If someone asks for money, please give money. Nothing, arth ke bagair, without money, nothing moves in the world. Everybody talks about it. And I'm saying, without even money, dharma cannot flourish. You need to nurture the roots of the dharma by putting money. You can disseminate your teachings or everything by only way of putting money. We must come out of the shell. We are in the dark means phase coming forward. We are already in so much of depth, means neck deep trouble. The way amount of information I get about conversions, it is tremendous, as Omiji has already explained. If we don't wake up and take up this fight on a missionary zeal, I'm saying on a missionary zeal as the missionaries and the Islamists are doing, we cannot save this beautiful ancient civilization of our great sages, our ancestors who fought these mafias for so long. And how can we, their children, give up this fight?
Thank you so much. And I will then ask Varunji. Varunji, you have a question, and then Anupmaji. I'll just
Just to add on Arvindji's thing, why we have to collect money or why we have to save dharma is like the Chanakya, as I will explain it. The mool of sukh ka mool jo hota hai, sukh means like prosperity. The base of prosperity is dharma. If you follow the dharma, we all get prosperous. We all stay happy. And to establish dharma, we need earth and wealth and bal also, like power also. And earth is the one of the way of making sure we have the enough muscle power on the ground. And the way to accumulate a lot of wealth is by having a stable state, stable government, a government which is well wishers of you. So we have already done a part of it by electing Modi government for last 2 terms. Now it's a part we are making money. It's not like in India or in US we are not making money. We are making money, and tons of money. And 100 rupees, which Omiji is saying, it's very small amount. We need to come forward and do as he's saying. We should have a zeal as a missionaries. What is at stake? The things at stake is our family, our kids, our future. The people who are right now enslaved by the mafia are the people who gave up their daughters, their kids, for to church people to get exploited, to mosque people to get exploited. Things, the worst things happens to their kids in their religious places, which they call it religious. And the institution they fund, they give 20%, 30%. That money is used for corruption. That money is used to buy corrupt people in the judiciary. Yet that money is used to pay for the protecting the pedophiles and rapists. We have seen it in India, uh, we have seen it in US, and recently we have seen it in France also. 300,000 kids been exploited, and these are the people who as an institution are there to exploit normal human beings like you and me. We Hindus are blessed, protected by them because of our dharma, that we didn't get fooled, our ancestors, because they didn't get fooled into their thing. Today, as a institution, as the Omi Bhai have said, that we are establishing Dharmaansh Foundation. We have to make it successful, and we have to work with the Omi Bhai to make sure the not only the Hindus get protected, Hindus get cover up, like a organization to fight for them, like a Waqf board, that the way they fight for it. It need to have properties, it need to have wealth, it need to also have to make sure like it remains corruption free. It also have to make sure that each Hindu who is working for the dharma, with the zeal of a missionary, is well funded, well paid, and stand up as a role model, as a someone who will motivate the next generation to come and take up that missionary challenges that we have to pick. And along with that, we have to work towards the humanity, the people who have currently been exploited by these mafia groups on the name of God, on the name of religion, and we have to weaken our enemy. So that's all. There's two ways of thinking of it. One way is weakening our enemy. The second way is helping the humanity. So we have to do that. There's no other option. For if we wanted to win this war, we cannot win this war without while leaving our enemy alive. We have to make it like dead. So that should be the one more criteria. And the question that I had for Omiji, and the suggestion or slash question, is like the monthly money, the liquid cash that get collected, will it be get expenditure on the same month? And what would be the ways for informing the people, or at least the key people who wanted to just contribute, making sure the contributions keep going up, at least the people who are here, what would be the methodology to let them know where we are, what we have achieved, how things are moving, and to keep them motivated towards expanding the base? And 1 crore is your target. We would want it to maximize as much as we can. So
the very brilliantly articulated, Varun. Thank you so much. You've understood the whole thing brilliantly. I don't think and it needs further elaboration. As for your question, see, everything that I'm proposing for Dharmaansh Foundation, I have already done at Nimitt Ekam. So anybody who wants to visit the Dharmaansh website, right now the Dharmaansh website is under construction because it's going to have so many different, it's a bouquet of flowers. Very different people are coming together. That's why it takes taking time. But you can go and visit nimittekam.org, nimittekam.org. We have the testimonials, we have the videos, we have dozens of videos of Pakistani Hindus endorsing our work. We have, so the same audiovisual team led by Tej Barala, who's right now in this group, he will be supplying the evidences and the testimonials to the donors. Every single rupee, every single dollar that is spent on the survival of Sanatan Dharma is going to be accounted for. As I said earlier, the income and expenditure will be broadly shared. We are not going to share the nitty-gritties because that's just not possible. It's logistically impossible. However, if somebody is given us, say, $10,000 for a specific purpose, for example, I get so many times, I get money from people in India asking that our money should only be used to extricate Hindus out of Pakistan. So then I tell them, please don't give your money because right now for the last 1.5 years, the borders are closed. We are not taking Hindus out of Pakistan for the last 1.5 years. I'm not going to open the borders just for Nimitt Ekam. That's something the countries have to decide. So then I ask them to hold their money because if I take, say, 1 lakh rupees from somebody, I need to show him 20 Hindus that I have taken out. So when somebody gives us some money with a specific purpose, that will be the job of our audiovisual team led by Tej Barala to provide you with the visual and the written evidence of that. That we are going to do. That's not a problem. We have already been doing it at Nimitt Ekam for the past 5 years. We have already taken out 10,000 Hindus out of Pakistan. We have already got 3,500 citizenships. These 3,500 Hindus getting citizenship means that much more Hindus can be taken out of Pakistan because they always need a Hindu sponsor. So that is in the limited context of Nimitt Ekam. We are going into Dharmaansh Foundation on the premise and the experience and the learning and the teething troubles we had at Nimitt Ekam to Dharmaansh Foundation. Every single penny will be accounted for, but broadly, we are not going to give the detailed expenditure. That's not possible. That इसको किसी को खाने पीने के लिए कितना दिया, किसी के पेट्रोल में कितना लगा, that's not going to happen. But a large expenditure is going to be there on the net. Everybody who is giving us even a single rupee has the right to ask where this money is being spent. I am asking for your hard-earned money. I owe it to you. I will never feel offended if anybody asks for accounts of the money. That is a given. That is a given.
I think, Omiji, the most important thing is to, to have a professional management system. Was if this is, worked out properly in the audit, it's the way all organizations, non-profit organizations, to maintain and keep their ATG or the 501c3 here. It's not an easy thing. I work with non-profits all the time, and I know that you have to be meticulous about your records and your details. So I think that is something people have to build that trust. Like I said earlier, the British did work on derailing our systems of charity in India, and that has continued till to date. Our temples are not with us. But I will go to Anupmaji. Anupmaji, I will unmute you, and please go ahead. I will add you to the spotlight. Oh, you're on mute again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. It was a wonderful talk. I think Hindus were just waiting for this. Majority of the Hindus in United States and even in India, I would say, have been waiting कि where should we donate? You know, we want to, and we do a little bit here, a little bit there, but this is so wonderful. I mean, Omiji, Dr. Ratnuji has come up with this brilliant idea. He has all the things ABC, you know, done. All we have to do is a click of a button. I mean, this is a godsend. We couldn't have asked for more. It is not only that they are giving 10%, 20% from India. From here also, everybody knows this, they are sending millions of dollars from United States, the churches. They're sending millions of dollars to India to convert people. We all know this. I know of a lady who works here in the hospital. She has a 19-year-old son. And the 19-year-old son is just hasn't even joined college or something. But he says, oh, my son is going to Nepal for missionary mission. For missionary work.
Yes.
So where is the money coming from? Where are the plane tickets coming from? Where there was another person, because I live in the southern United States, so they have this is a Bible Belt, and it breaks my heart, and I just want to do something I cannot. There was another person who was in India for a year, close to, and they never tell you. I tell them, where were you? Where was your friend in India? He said somewhere close to New Delhi. And he came back just because Corona was there. Corona hit India that time. So imagine somebody who doesn't even have a proper job, goes to India, lives there. First of all, I don't know what kind of visa they are getting. And secondly, to sustain yourself in India for a year, tons of money is going. So least we can do is donate to this fund, Omiji's fund, and help our Hindu civilization. Otherwise this cannot be sustained. I mean, if you go on No Conversion, a Telegram channel, No Conversion as a Twitter handle, I mean, every time my blood pressure rises, every day there is a video that ararara susu yusu pusu pusu and all of that. It is so annoying, and I mean, unless we have money, we cannot counter this. There is no way. And if somebody can get $100, 100 rupees is fine. And I would encourage people, if they can do more than 100 rupees, of course, in US, we certainly can. I will quote something from Sadhguru. Sadhguru runs a Gurukul type school in Tamil Nadu. Sadhguru runs a Gurukul type school in Tamil Nadu. And he, we give funds to his school and all of that. He had suggested, एक दिन वेंसडे को आप खाना नहीं खाओ और दे दो. And I thought that was so beautiful. बोला कि एक दिन, one day, do not eat food. I don't know why he picked Wednesday. Wednesday को evening meal आप नहीं खाओ और वो खाना donate कर लो बच्चों की पढ़ाई के लिए. तो अगर वो कर सकते हैं तो ओमी जी के को भी हम फंड जरूर कर सकते हैं. I'm in for it, and we should encourage everybody across the globe that let's do it. It is our time on the planet. Let's do it. Thank you.
Just one request, Anupama ji. Thank you so much for your kind words. This is not Omi ji's initiative. This is Dharmaansh Foundation India, DFI. It is with the blessing of Swami Vijnanananda ji that I'm able to do it. And this is for the Sanatan Dharma Samaj. Honestly, with folded hands, I request everybody to be a part of this. And when I say part of this, I'm not asking for funds. I'm asking Hindus to take over DFI. My hands are I'm neck deep into Nimittekam. My heart bleeds for the Pakistani Hindus and Sardars. If any Hindu who wants to run DFI, wants to become a part of the advisory council, I will test the bona fides, and of course I will test his commitment, and I will of course test his intellect, whether he's capable of running this. I most welcome to come and join us and take over DFI. I will gladly resign. I have no issues about that. This is for the Samaj. This is for the Dharma. The DFI is for Hinduism, and this is not my baby. This is not Swami Vijnanananda ji's baby. This is for the Samaj. This is the blessing of Sri Aurobindo. This is the blessing of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. This is the blessing of Swami Vivekananda. And these great Maharanas of Mewar who fought and saved us from Islamic invasions, kept us Hindus. Dharmaansh Foundation is only and only a humble attempt at creating a central core fund for Sanatan Dharma, where we can fund our fighters, where we can pay salaries to Hindus, bright Hindus, committed Hindus, who think and act for Hinduism 24/7. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Omidji. I think I will go straight to Vannaji. I do have a couple of questions that are in the chat box. One of them, of course, is about the stringent bylaws, and I think that is something that is pretty easily worked in. And
no, in India, we don't have bylaws. It's for the US. So I've been.
But they do have articles of organization there as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that has been worked on. That has been taken care of because we are registered as a non-profit company with the Indian Companies Act. So that has already been taken care of. When we are sharing the account number, we are collecting funds. And I think we can go on the Indian Companies Act and look for Dharmaansh Foundation. It shows me and Swami Vijnananandji as the directors as of now. And let's take this forward then. Thank you.
Yes. Omidji, I will hand over to Vannaji, who is going to ask, I'll ask you to unmute Vannaji. Please go ahead.
Namaste. First of all, thank you for your message, and I was able to connect with you. I just wanted to ask now what we see in the media. I was talking to someone, my phone call was almost 1 hour, 57 minutes with one of the Sanatani this afternoon. You know, my heart is bleeding when I'm talking to you because we don't even get to know the percentile of what all is happening on the ground, because with the media reports, we're not getting the genuine. Because you mentioned about you've been into this 10 plus years now. Where do you see we are today, and where do you see we are going to go tomorrow too? Is the awakening happening? Because we're talking about the Pakistani Hindus. In Bharat needs help too. Let's start from Kerala. Let's start from West Bengal. I mean, like anywhere and everywhere, what we are seeing it, there should not be any human, because the definition of human rights is evaporating now. It is just by seeing with convenience with one eye, because your right is not the right. It is only my right.
It's a valid question, Vandana ji. 10 years ago, the situation was very, very sad and depressing. There was no hope. But in the 10 years, look at how we have changed the lingo. You know, Dhimmi has been a mainstream word, Kafir. We know a lot about their theology. We know a lot about the way they work, how their violence works. I mean, our think tank came up with the word random, unceasing, low-level, scattered violence. So then every time the violence doesn't have to be fantastic like in Godhra, but low-level, 5 Hindus killed there, 1 Hindu killed there. That also has an impact. So we at least are understanding the threat. We understood the power of zakat and tithe. We have uncovered what our Hindu leadership should have done 70 years ago. We understood halal economy. So we are going to the Hindus. In Jaipur itself, we managed to close down 12 halal outlets, and they had to shift to Jhatka outlets. We have the Khatik Samaj in Jaipur itself who are aggressive about opening up Jhatka shops. We have funded 1 shop here. If I had the money, I would have had a Jhatka shop in every street of Jaipur, and then every street of Rajasthan, and then every street of Bharatvarsha. Jhatka Vyavasai Mahasangh is in existence. Air India was forced to withdraw its very, very biased tender that only halal meat suppliers need to apply for Air India meat supply chain. And Ishkaran Bhandari, under the guidance of Swami Vijnananandji, was able to resist it. So a lot is being done. The only missing link, I'm at the cost of repeating myself, is the funds. We lack a central core funding mechanism. a central core funding which will, see, 100 crores. A lot of people ask me, and I'm using this pretext to answer this question through you, कि भाई उनके तो 20,000 crores हैं, आप 100 crores per month मानते हो, 1,200 crores per year. How are you going to fight 20,000 crores with 1,200 crores? And my simple response is, you need 20,000 crores to peddle and to sustain lies. You need only 1,200 crores to peddle the truth. Sanatan Dharma is the truth. If it is our conviction that it is the truth. But bhaiya, truth also needs warriors. I mean, there is no bigger truth than Maharana Pratap in the history, in the Hindu history. And I'm not saying because I'm totally enamored by that man. I'm telling you a very dispassionate observation. When you will read my book, you will understand the greatness of that man, Maharana Pratap. But what did he achieve? Once Bhamasha gave him 35 lakh rupees in 1579, in 4 years, he amassed an army of 25,000 soldiers and 5,000 horsemen and decimated the Mughals, the so-called biggest empire of the world at that time. That is the missing link. Pratap understood this 500 years ago, 400 years ago. Are we so dumb not to understand this simple thing? So, a small amount of money on a monthly basis by 1 crore Hindus, 1% Hindus, don't be demoralized, don't be disheartened. When you will approach 100 Hindus, only one will respond. Doesn't matter. I've been doing this for the last 10 years. I'm sure you can do this for the next 10 months. That's all that is needed. We will win this because losing is not an option. We are the children of Durga. We are the children of Shri Krishna. We are the children of Bhagwan Shankar. How on earth can these sublime philosophies and these sublime thoughts and this beautiful way of life called Sanatan Dharma be lost like this? It can't be. You know, it's against the principles of physics. Things don't happen like this. It's the basic principle of humanity. Abrahamic ideologies are unsustainable. How long can you keep people slaves? So there's going to be chaos. So if we want order, we want civility, we want prosperity, we want humanity around us, then Sanatan Dharma is the only way forward. And every system, every thought system needs to be kept alive by a bloodline, and Dharmaansh Foundation is the bloodline. That's all that I'm going to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Omidji. I think in the interest of time, Lakshmanji, please keep it short and ask your question. And we have 2-3 more questions. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
सबको मेरा प्रणाम. I just want to say, Omendra boss, इनके पिताजी भी, his father was so much into it for society. They could have made a big hospital in Jaipur, but they are all dedicated for generations for this whole thing. I'm with him every day. I think about him. I'm supporting in our capacity. Just one thing about this, that he's like Jamansi waking up all Hanumanjis in this team, So let's wake up and jump, कूद to Lanka, and जैसे आराम करके अपना बढ़िया काम करना है. And we have to do on different manners, like sometimes I distribute Gita Ji, which is little different. Sometimes I do yoga, sometimes I do Ayurveda. And while people are listening me as an interventional cardiologist, as I told you, Richa Ji in the last meeting, then I use that platform. They say me, how do you 50 Surya Namaskar every day at the age of 48, 47? I said, listen, read Gita Ji, listen this. Then they ask what to do, what is Dharma? They come to Dharma Foundation. So you have to prepare the background, like take the people out from the tamas, then rajas, then they talk about sattva. So I do pranam to all of you who are senior than me. So wonderful work, and we are ये अपना पुण्य कर्म है. So we are in this situation to be part with these all foundations and this dharma.
Thank you very much, Lakshman. Thank you very much for your kind words. माँ भगवती आपको सुख, समृद्धि, वैभव और बुद्धि का दान दे, ताकि इसी तरह सनातन धर्म की सेवा आप करते रहें. And it touches my heart. It touches my heart when a Prajapat from Rajasthan is so committed to dharma, and you become it. मेरे को ना आंख में आंसू आ जाते हैं जब मैं आप जैसे बंदों को देखता हूँ. उसका कारण है, देखिए, जो टॉप क्लास है वो बेनिफिशियरी है हिंदू धर्म की. टॉप क्लास is the beneficiary of Hinduism. But I know your background and how you have risen, and It's only respect and love. Respect and love. My heartfelt blessings to you.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, boss. Ram Ram.
Thank you. And I will go to Sunil Bhaji. Please go ahead. I think if you can start your video, it would be great. Sunilji, or
yeah, I'm
okay.
trying to do it, but okay, it's
Please go.
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. I just want to say thanks to Omendra ji. God bless you. God bless you. All you guys are doing a great job. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I live in South Africa, and looking at the dedication of Omendra ji, he at the same time he's a surgeon and then he's also working so hard for it. I don't know how he is managing all these things. This is great. But at the same time, I just want to ask only one question. I'm happy that there is one organization by Dr. Vishwanath in Kerala, which is a helpline for Hindus. But they also need some kind of support. So are we supporting them also? Because the problem is there are some kids there which are Hindu kids. The parents have been already died, or they have been killed. And unfortunately, I was talking to Dr. Vishwanath, and I was asking him that why don't we, some of us adopt those children there, or somebody who is studying there, the parents have died or they have been killed, something has happened, we can adopt a children and support their education, for example.
HSK is on our top of our agenda. HSK is one of the top teams that we are working with. Dr. Shashiji is here. I would really like to, I'd like him to respond how we are working together. Dr. Shashi Vishwanath.
Okay.
So Shashi, we definitely, I think Dharmaansh Foundation will support all our organizations.
I'm here, Richardji.
There you are.
You want me to respond, Romiji, or just wait?
Yeah.
I want you to respond to the gentleman from South Africa, how we are working together for the past 6 months at least, ever since VSI started.
Yes, my name is Dr. Vishwanath. I primarily work in Kerala State for Hindu Seva Kendram, and I've been very closely.
Shashiji, we lost your voice. Shashiji.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes. Now we can.
I'm Dr. Vishwanath. I'm working primarily for the state of Kerala, where Hindus are facing an existential crisis. Omiji has been very generous in promoting us and also personally supporting us. In fact,
thank you.
Any kind of work we do in Kerala, we look up to him for guidance and help. And he has been very forthright in stating that Dharmaansh Foundation will be there for any Hindu emergency anywhere in the world. So the canvas is wide open, and I'm all for it. And any kind of help we need, we'll be, I'm sure he will help us. But we had to get the foundation up and running before we can even think of those kind of things. We have to get Hindus on board first, because Hinduism is dying. And as a physician, I can say that there is a point of no return from which no patient can be saved. It's a fact of medical practice. You cannot save a patient beyond a certain point. You cannot save a patient when he's breathing his last breath and say, oh, now we have every doctor in the world. No, this is the time we have to intervene. So I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vishwanath. I actually want to, why I'm asking this question is because I actually have tried to make up one Sanatan Sabha by the name Akhil Bharatiya Sanatan Sabha. So I got some guy. So I actually gave this job to Dr. Lakshmi, who is in Karnataka, to look for you, because we have been looking for you, because I was thinking if we can join you straight away. And I was saying that because we were not moving anywhere, we are having meetings after meetings, but we can't move forward. But I was intending to help you. If you remember, I chatted with you on Clubhouse once, and I think thank you very much for coming forward. Thank you very much for connecting.
We'll connect. Please support Dharmaansh first. I would say, please direct your energy. I will connect with you privately, but I think right now we should all show up and stand up for Dharmaansh.
Absolutely. And I will now ask, I think it's Deb Mukherjee ji to ask a question. And there's someone whose name is not there. It just says iPhone. So please go ahead, ask your half-a-minute questions. And
I have
Omidji
a
will
very
respond.
quick question. Namaskar. Basically, you showed a bank account in India for Dharmaansh, but at this time we cannot from United States bank account, dollar bank accounts. Is there a way to donate, like through Richa? You may have some conduits because we have.
We
a
will connect
problem.
with you separately.
Okay.
We'll
Deb,
connect
can
with
you,
you separately.
send me in the chat box your number? I will connect with you.
I think I have your number. I can call you if you
Please
want.
do. Please do.
Okay.
Please call me.
Okay.
That would be wonderful. Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you. Very wonderful talk.
Thank you, Debji.
Thank you, sir.
And then we have a phone. Can you?
Richa ji, Shiv
Hi.
Singh. Thank you very much. And Omendra ji, I have heard you lot of times on Sanjay Dixit. There are only two things I would like to say. One is, I know personally lot of Christian friends, as Anupma ji said earlier, who become missionary, and in their teaching it is that they have to convert 6 people. They don't use the word convert. They have to bring 6 people to Jesus in order in 2-year period. That's their metrics of success. And my colleague, I used to work for IBM, and my colleague who was 20-year-old, at peak of her career, she took 2-year break to do that. Anyway, that was already communicated by Anupma ji. Second is, every church member forcibly has to give 10% of income to the respective church here. At least I live in New Jersey, and I know that for sure. I have a lot of friends who give 10%. So Dharmaansh is very good initiative. And Richa ji, I will reach out to you. How can not only me, but I can invite my friends to contribute. And definitely we can contribute much more than 100 rupees per month. I will definitely reach out to you. My only question is, what happens if you don't get 100 crore and you get only 50 lakhs? That's not unexpected in a Hindu society. When you earn 400 crore, if you get 50 lakh in the first month, that would be great success. So how do you propose? What's your proposal of meeting it, or
I think
using?
we always have to believe, I always.
No,
believe.
it's not about belief.
So, like,
There is always. I
things do work.
am a scientist. I am a scientist.
Okay.
I don't go on conjectures. I always go with the plan B and the plan C and the plan D. See, if everything fails, nobody gives a single rupee to us, I'm gonna die fighting for my dharma. So I'm sure there will be at least 10 lakh Hindus like me who are ready to die for their dharma. That's the worst. The best case scenario is 100 crores. But whatever comes in between, say you get 50 lakh rupees, I'll tell you the power of Dharmaansh. At Nimitt Ekam, we got till December 2019, 1 lakh rupees per month Dharmaansh, of which the major chunk was given by Uma Deshpotla, who is on this group right now. Uma gave us 15,000 rupees every month consistently for the last 4 years. So 1 lakh rupees monthly Dharmaansh. How many Hindus we saved? 10,000 Hindus out of Pakistan. That is the power of Dharmaansh. 50 lakhs. You will see the results of how we fund Agniveer, how HSK is going to go to every panchayat, how legal warfare, how every Hindu murdered, his family will be supported. We will give them money, we will give them education, we will support the children. So 50 lakh is a huge amount, because I'm just extrapolating it with the 1 lakh at Nimitt Ekam we used to get till December 2019. Now we are of course getting more, but it's not about the quantum. Honestly, जितना पैसा आता जाएगा हम उतना काम करते जाएंगे. And that's the whole thing. The basic thing that I'm going for here is eventually we want to launch a Hindu helpline so that Hindus are not orphans, but to man a Hindu helpline, to have infrastructure in almost every city of this country. That is why Swami Vijnananandaji's addition to this whole idea is critical for us. He gives us the logistics. He gives us the brand acquisition. That whole Vishwa Hindu Parishad RSS ecosystem is with us. And we as entrepreneurs, we as technocrats, we as surgeons, middle class Hindus, we are aligned with the RSS here to give them ideas. I mean, RSS they are our own people, okay? Whatever differences we might have, they are our own people. We strengthen each other. So in coming 1 year, the Dharmaansh Foundation is going to take off. It doesn't matter we collect 1 crore, 10 crores, 15 crores, 20 crores, 100 crores. I just gave a number for the sake of explanation that we are up against 20,000 crores. So even if you vote for a BJP chief minister in Rajasthan, the day a jihadi enters her chamber and gives 500 crores to her, you have madrasas lined up in Jaisalmer. The border district of Rajasthan is littered with madrasas. Because at the end of the day, it's all about money. So why can't we purchase loyalties? That is the bottom line. And eventually the end game is to start a Hindu helpline when every Hindu on this globe can pick up a phone, reach out to us, and we will respond. Thank you.
Anandji, I didn't want to say anything against that. I think your idea is excellent and we will wholeheartedly support you. I will touch base with Richaji and I am quite sure I will be able to get more funds from my friends and circle. This is a great idea. Thank you.
Can I know your name, sir?
My name is Shiv Singh, SHIV, last name Singh, SINGH.
Okay, thank you. And then Madanji, if you can quickly ask your question.
And
Darshana
thank you
ji
very
and Padma
much.
ji.
This is Professor Madanlal Goel from Florida. I'm just so happy that Ratnuji is promoting a new organization, and we need that. As we all know, Hindus are doing very well economically. It is reported time and again that we are in the top tier of wealth in the United States, and I think in India as well. So floating a new organization to fight for Hinduism and to fight against these destructive ideologies is the need of the time. And I'm just so very happy. Only small suggestion to Ratnuji that if we can make contributions here from the United States, I think already has been proposed that, and that these contributions that are made can be acknowledged. For example, I made some contributions from India to Nimitekam. If we could just get some kind of a acknowledgement that this money has been received, then we can use that to deduct on our taxes. In the United States, that's very, very important for a lot of people. And but it's a
Noted,
great
sir.
work.
It will be
I
done.
admire,
It will be done.
appreciate everything that you're doing, Ratnuji.
It's just, you said the point, sir, is it's not about appreciating. I'm a surgeon, as I said, and my basic training is of a surgeon. When I see a disease, I go after it mercilessly. Because if I don't go after the disease, the patient is going to die.
Miji,
And that's a failure of my job. Yeah.
Miji, can I please take questions from the other two people? And
Please go ahead.
Just because we are really running out of time. Can I have questions from Darshana ji and Padma ji? I think I did unmute you, right?
I think yes. Can you hear me?
Please. Yep, go ahead, please.
Okay.
Make it
Namaste
quick.
ji,
Thank
Omi
you.
ji. I think we have talked, on WhatsApp a bit, but we'll continue. Just wanted to show my face so you know who I am, and I obviously everybody knows you. Another question, not the question, what I had to say about is, as I always tell you about this PayPal thing, because, if you get that one going for Nimitekam and also this one, we, people like me in the US, we can, support, plus have
I
more
will
people.
sort
support.
this out within this week, Darshana ji. Okay.
Thank you
Give me
so
a week's
much.
time. I'll talk to the CA and sort this out. My apologies.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. My hands were full. I'll do this.
No,
Thank you
I
so
understand. I understand.
Thank
I
you,
just wanted to bring one more time, so it just keep you on a path.
much. Point taken. Point taken.
Thank you so
Point
much.
taken. Is Tej
Uh,
around? Tej, please note this down. This is very critical. This is very important that we get sorted out this PayPal thing. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes. Another thing is that I am like people say Hindu, Jain, Buddhist and stuff. I am actually Jain, but I call myself Hindu because we are all from the same land, motherland, and sometimes people try to, pull us apart, and there is no need to. If Hinduism dies, where do I want to sit with? Do I want to
The
sit
main
with the
war
Hindu?
general of Pratap, Bhamasha, was an Oswal Jain.
Yes, and I
Okay.
come from Mewar.
That should settle the debate. Settle the debate. Don't bother about what others have to say. Hindus, Jains are like bone and meat joined together. Don't worry. Don't bother.
Ratnuji, my family about 8-10 generations ago, we had to flee from Mewar, and we are still called Mewadas, and we settled in Sojitra town in Gujarat. And I don't know how many generations. It could be 10, it could be 15. But we still call ourselves Mewada, and every time we go to India, we definitely go to all the Mewar, Chittor temples, all those Kesariyaji temple, because it is our it is our temple. So all that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that
We will
makes us-
connect separately. We will connect
Yes,
separately because
yes.
today we are short
So
of time.
anything with Mewar and Chittor is just so close to my heart, and it gets lost in generations, but I feel that Shivaji and Maharana Pratap were one of those ideologies we have to keep continue, in the
Yes.
new generations. And so thank you for all you
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Darshana.
Namaste ji.
Can we go ahead, Padma ji? Your question, last question. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you?
Yeah, can you say? Yeah, namaste, namaste, Omiji. Namaste, everyone. I just want to tell a quick point, not really a question, but I'm very happy to see Dr. Shashi Vishwanath here, because I listened to a presentation just like you made one now a few months ago, and I started giving to his one presentation I heard. It just changed my heart and brought me to what is going on. I already knew sort of, but he gave me the really nitty-gritty, like what is going on at the ground level. So it was very like a life-changing moment for me to Dr. Vishwanath. So I'm very happy to see here. Also, I want to just bring 2 points to light about the power of Christian missionaries. I grew up in Andhra Pradesh. 30, 40 years ago, there were not many Christians. Kerala and Tamil Nadu had more Christians in South India, but not Andhra Pradesh. And I grew up in the temple town of Tirupati, which is Balaji Mandir. Hardly any Christians. Now our chief minister, entire cabinet is Christian. In 20 years, Andhra Pradesh has become 20% Christian, crypto Christian. Every village in coastal Andhra, which used to be the very heart of Telugu culture, has a church. People donate their land. They have 4 acres, 5 acres. They give half acre to build a church in the villages. That's in my hometown in Andhra Pradesh. And also some guest here was saying, member was saying about the missionaries going to, from US going to convert. I'm sure a lot of you might have heard about the Korean guy from the US. He went to that remote island in India, which is forbidden. You're banned. Nobody can go there. He had taken here training. The church had given him training to survival training. He knew how to do first aid, poisonous darts. He took training for, I forget his name, he's a Korean guy, but he was still shot dead by the ancient tribal people. I forget what it is. I wouldn't call them aborigines, but just remember what that guy, to what extent that 20-something-year-old guy, a Korean guy who's originally not Christian, to what length he went. He tried many times. He bribed the hotel people in Pondicherry or Tamil Nadu to take him there because the locals knew, the fishermen knew that it's a banned, forbidden island. Nobody can go there. They knew the rules. Still, somebody took his bribes, took him there. They didn't take him to the island because they know they cannot go. They dropped him off in the boat. He swam to the island and tried to make contact. He was shot dead. So if you Google that and see, that's the power of Abrahamic Christian missionary. That length they will go. He died. The Indian army wanted to retrieve his body, but they couldn't. They didn't promise anything. I don't think they retrieved his body. Just Google that story. That's the extent they will go to convert. So namaste, just wanted to say that, but bahut bahut dhanyavad that you told us about the Dharmaansh Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Padmaji. That was, pretty interesting. So Omiji, I think a lot of interest and a lot of support for your work. So thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Each one of us who has listened today to each other, we have to become the ambassadors for Dharmaansh Foundation. Each Hindu who has listened here must get 10 donors to get, only then we can scale this up. We'll have a follow-up meeting 1 month down the line. How do you take the Hindu ecosystem? We'll talk about this, Lakshman. We'll do this separately. Now it's time to call it a day. Everybody has to sleep. My daughter's sucking my blood. She wants me to take her out on a drive. So we have to scale this up. We'll do a follow-up meeting 1 month down the line, when hopefully by that time we will have a website. We will have all the testimonials, and the website will be running with all the sister organizations like HSK and Agniveer aligned with us fully. Thank you so much for this patient hearing. Dharmaansh Foundation account number has been shared. Only Indian national rupees, and from Indian account we can take money as of now. It will take some time before we get an FCRA clearance. ATG will be we will have very soon the ATG clearance, because that is been freed from the bureaucratic hassles by the Indian government. So we'll be in touch. We'll do some to and fro. This is just an introductory meeting. We'll keep talking to each other. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Ram. Har Har Mahadev.
Jai Shri Ram. Har Har Mahadev.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaskar.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.